Hey everyone, how's it going? Aaron Rift here from NoDQ.com. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire this Sunday. Hashtag WWE Balls. And what are you doing?
I'm lighting my balls on fire.
Tell me you did not just do that as we started recording this video.
Well, you want me to shave my head. I happen to shave my balls, so there was no burning going on there. But it is great balls of fire, so I thought I'd play along.
Well, there was something showed.
Yeah, you saw the flame.
Well, one of two things are going to happen. Either we are going to get a ton of dislikes, or maybe, just maybe, more females will tune in, and this will bring in new viewership to NoDQ.com.
That's
skipping
what I'm
past
hoping.
30 seconds when I watch this back.
Holy cow, that was quite the opening. Anyways, let's talk about the pay-per-view. Yeah, I think Jeff would have quit. Jeff would have just left the Skype chat. So, WWE Great Balls of Fire this coming Sunday. We actually have a full card, including a kickoff match, which is very rare for WWE pay-per-views in 2017. Now, I would like to get your guys' overall thoughts on the card before we go match by match. I'm really looking forward to this show. I think it's perhaps the strongest card WWE has put together in 2017 for a B pay-per-view. Let's start with you, Virtue. Your thoughts overall on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. Strowman and Reigns, Joe and Lesnar. Those are the two big matches. But I don't think there's a match on the card right now that I actually don't want to see. I just hope it doesn't feel like Raw, because that's what every pay-per-view feels like to me. But I'm actually a little bit excited. What about you, Greg?
See, I know we all had a collective groan once we initially heard the pay-per-view name, but you know what? They've done a very good job of building up this show, which is, again, surprising for a B pay-per-view. Sometimes they don't even do it for their joint shows. But I'm really looking forward to this, and maybe it'll be better than Money in the Bank.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not so hopeful. I'm going to have to disagree with you guys. I'm kind of, I'm indifferent about Raw. I think the only build-up that's been good is Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar, which I'm extremely happy for. So I guess just for that match alone, I'm super hyped to watch this pay-per-view. Obviously, I'm going to watch the whole thing. But, no, I'm not. I'll tell you what, though. It would be bad if it actually was really bad, and then people can hold it and say, boy, that pay-per-view was balls, man. So,
yeah, that
pay-per-view
sucked better. Balls. It's going to be easy to insult this show if it's not too good. So we'll see how things go on Sunday. We'll see if this pay-per-view overachieves. We have 8 matches, including a kickoff match. The kickoff match is for the Cruiserweight title, Neville versus Akira Tozawa. So I guess the Neville level is the kickoff show. That's unfortunate for those guys in the Cruiserweight title. But on the plus side, it should be a good kickoff match, maybe a better than average kickoff match. Now, since it is the kickoff match, I'm not predicting a title change. I think Neville's going to retain here. I would be very surprised. Although some might argue maybe there should be a title change to maybe generate some interest in the kickoff and make the kickoff more watchable and give fans a reason to tune in. Maybe something big might happen on a kickoff match. I mean, we'll start with you, Greg. What do you think about the Cruiserweight match?
Well, I mean, this is one of the matches they haven't built up really well. They just want to try and get the Titus brand a little bit more out there besides Apollo Crews.
Apollo Creed.
By the way, yeah, Apollo Creed. Oh, my goodness.
Did you see that spot with Strowman at the end on Raw? That was crazy.
With the moonsault that Crews... Yeah. How is Crews still alive?
Yeah, I know. R.I.P.
He's probably peeing blood now.
But regardless, I mean, title changes on kickoff shows do happen, though. I mean, I was at the 2014 Rumble when the New Age Outlaws beat Cody Rhodes and Goldust for the tag titles.
There you go.
So it can happen.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking it's going to happen here. I thought maybe they might build the Titus brand, but no, I'm going to go with Neville to retain. Payne, what do you think?
Well, Tozawa's from Japan. Unless Vince is planning on selling more to Japan, I don't really see it's going to happen here. In fact, is there really a level that's above a squash match? Because it ain't going to be a squash match per se, but I do believe it's going to be Tozawa jobbing out to Neville. Neville retains.
I think that's a glorified squash.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
That works.
Virtue?
Yeah, it'll be Neville. It'll be more like an onside kickoff. Probably a 5 or 6 minute match. Neville wins. I mean, I like Neville, but I don't know. It just doesn't. It seems like the Aries feud was the hot, feud for maybe him to lose the title, but I can't see him losing it to anybody else right now.
They're burying the cruiserweight division at this point. That's all I had to say.
It is the Neville show. I would be very surprised if there's a title change. Like you guys, I think we're all going with Neville on this one to retain. So for the main card, the first match we have is a match that has been several weeks in the making. Pretty strong build-up. We have Enzo Amore versus Big Cass. Now, even though the build-up's been really good, I'm looking forward to the match. I do think it's going to be very one-sided. I think Big Cass is going to win this one and move on to bigger and better things. I don't see Enzo winning here. I think he'll put up a great fight, but my gut feeling is Cass is going to get an impressive win and continue to be built up as one of the future top guys in WWE for years to come. But we'll see. I mean, stranger things have happened, but I think WWE is going to protect Big Cass. I think WWE sees Big Cass as their long-term investment. So, Mr. Payne, we'll start with you.
Well, thank you for giving me first on this, because I see this booked where Enzo completely destroys Cass, makes Cass look fragile. He's injured. Big Show comes out to save him. There's your feud for SummerSlam: Big Show and Enzo, or Big Show and Cass, and then Enzo.
Did you have that reverse? Did you have that reverse when you were saying that earlier? It sounded like you were saying that Enzo was going to beat Cass up.
No, I'm sorry.
Did I hear that wrong? Did I hear that wrong?
Well, you know what? I smoked keef, and for those of you who don't know what keef is, it's the THC extract out of marijuana.
Well, these listeners pay close attention, so I'm not.
Okay.
Well, they know you're on something based on the beginning of the video.
Something.
I think I knew what you meant, but I knew what you meant. So if you wanted to rephrase it.
Okay, so yes, thank you, and so I can rebut. I apologize to the listeners out there. Cass will squash Enzo. Enzo will get a few moves in. But like I said, I think this is going to be a build for Big Show towards SummerSlam. Well, what do you think, Virtue?
If they do it right, Enzo was on fire in that opening segment on Raw tonight. And I like how they actually let him jump Cass and kind of give him a little bit of edge. Maybe because, a couple people now might think he'll come out like Kamikaze. But, yeah, what's going to happen is Cass will beat him. I think it might go this way. I think Enzo might keep getting up. And then, just stretching it out and maybe looking up at him, kind of like Shawn Michaels did against The Undertaker at that one WrestleMania match. But, yeah, Cass will win at the end, maybe even a ref stoppage. But Enzo's going to show all the heart. What do you think, Greg?
See, I'm going to go a different way than you guys. I'm going to say that Enzo actually picks up the victory.
Whoa.
I think I think Cass will dominate most of the match. But I could see WWE booking where Enzo steals it with a roll up or a schoolboy or something, and maybe he'll even cheat a little bit to get one over on Cass. And then I see Cass winning the rematch and then moving on to bigger things.
Yeah, is there another Raw pay-per-view, Aaron, if I may ask?
No, there's Battleground and then there's SummerSlam.
Okay, so all right, well that's interesting, Greg.
Yeah, that is an interesting prediction. I mean, like I said, stranger things have happened this year, like Jinder Mahal becoming WWE champion. So you never know for sure. So, yeah, should be a fun match. I really hope they keep the feud going. There's reports that this is just going to be a one-off thing, but I would like to see this feud go beyond one match. And if that is the case, then I think it would make sense for Enzo to pick up the first win and then do another match where Cass wins and gets his payback and gets a decisive victory. So if they're going to do more than one match, I would say Enzo should win, but I don't know. I'm not expecting that to happen. I don't think WWE is going to put that much stock into Enzo, but we'll see. You never know. Never say never, right?
That's right.
All right. So next up we have the IC title match. The Miz defending against Dean Ambrose yet again. I have almost no interest in this match, even though I did enjoy the skits on Raw with the bear costume and all that stuff. I thought that was entertaining, but I'm still not interested in seeing The Miz and Ambrose wrestle again. I'm just tired of it. But I'll go ahead and give my thoughts last. Virtue, we'll start with you. Your predictions for this match.
Well, with the Miz Taraj, I think the Miz is obviously going to retain. I'll even say he'll win. I mean, I know you can keep a belt, by losing a match technically, but with the Miz Taraj, he will win. And I would like to say that faction will grow another person. I was kind of getting that vibe tonight. Maybe Heath Slater can be the next guy to join the Miz Taraj. I don't know. But nonetheless, the Miz will find a way to win. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some more awkwardness with Maurice again. I don't know if that's going to be something that her and the Miz had planned to kind of fool his opponents, or if they're really going to go in that direction and maybe make those two not break up but have some tension. But I pick Miz. Greg?
So you're basically saying that the Miz is going to have the social outcasts as his entourage?
Hey, I mean, it's WWE.
He's got two of them. Right
They always go back to the well.
But anyway, I don't really have anything to say about this match. We've seen it many times this year alone, so I'm just going to say Miz retains and moves on to something bigger at SummerSlam. Payne?
Yeah, I go with Miz retaining too, but I will say this, the beginning of that Miz segment, it was almost a half shoot in a way. Like I say, maybe I was just in a different zone, but I was really feeling when he said how Ambrose didn't cut it as a main eventer. Yeah. It was sort of true, And then when Ambrose came out there, he seemed like he was a little fired up too. Who knows if these guys really like each other or not? They both came from way different backgrounds, So, but yeah, keep it simple. Yeah, I think Miz retains. I think he's money with that belt right now,
Yeah, I agree. I think they've been hot potatoing the title too much. So for Ambrose to win it again, not really a fan of that. I think Miz should have a decent run with it, and it fits him better. Ambrose was really going nowhere as IC champion. I think it's counterproductive. The only reason I could see it happening is WWE wants to give Ambrose a win, but what was that, gunshots?
No, I apologize. I got inconsiderate neighbors who are going past the curfew. I even went as far as to Facebook the mayor of Warren, Michigan, to ask him, can you do something about this?
I think somebody, early 4th of July. I think somebody's coming to get you, Payne. Somebody already saw this video somehow. Somebody hacked into the Skype system and saw
it is Detroit.
I know a few people. Said they're going to take you out. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with Miz retaining. If Ambrose wins the title again, I'm just gonna shake my head. I mean, I think it's a bad idea. All right, next up we have the tag team titles on the line. We have Cesaro, Sheamus and Cesaro, of course, defending against the Hardys in a 30-minute Iron Man match. So this is interesting. I'm not sure. I know on Raw they mentioned that it's very rare in WWE for a tag team Iron Man match, but I don't even remember one. Do any of you guys remember a tag team Iron Man match? I'm seeing a lot of head shakes here.
Well, I'm guessing in the early NWA or AWA days there may have been some, but I have not come across one personally. I don't know if there is one in WWE or history or not, so I can't think of it. Can you guys?
Yeah, it doesn't.
I think there may have been. I don't know if it was televised or not. Like, I don't know if. Do you guys remember like John Morrison's 15 minutes of fame, type matches? I don't know if he did one of those in ECW.
Yeah, I don't remember. But anyways, this is a little bit of an interesting match here. I am going to go ahead and say that Cesaro retains because they just won the titles recently. I don't think the Hardys need the titles. And also, with all this talk about the broken gimmick, and it looks like things are finally going to be resolved and the Hardys will be able to reach a deal to use the gimmick, it makes sense for Cesaro to win so the Hardys can start becoming broken again. I think the Hardys winning back the titles really doesn't make sense at this point to me. So I got to go with Cesaro retaining. Mr. Payne, we'll start with you.
That's funny, but isn't this broken thing still predicated on some sort of settlement between, Impact and WWE?
Apparently they're close to a deal.
Well, if that's the case, if that is the case, then I would say, yeah, I think that would happen. I would have to agree with you, but it just seems like the Hardys may be going in to SummerSlam as the tag champions against somebody new and then have somebody new dethrone them maybe, I'm not sure who. I mean, maybe the Bullet Club, I don't know. Well, the WWE's version of the club, right? So that's about the only thing I can think of. So, I mean, screw it. I'll go with the Hardys winning here and go into SummerSlam as champs. Yeah, I mean, just a little bit. You know, you don't want to count your chickens before they hatch. There's nothing been finalized yet, and I would say that it would be very egotistical, although Vince is known for being that way, to just assume already, okay, let's go along with this. You know?
Right.
So,
well, David, real quick before Greg gives his picks, how about how many falls there will be? I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be 2-2, and it'll be a draw with Cesaro retaining. What do you think? What's your number?
I'll go 3-2 in favor of the Hardys, and I'll say maybe maybe a cool last minute finish, where Cesaro and Jeff Hardy do something crazy, and maybe it won't even be like a twist of fate type thing. It could just be a crazy pinfall that wins it or something. So we'll see. I think 3-2. Yeah, last minute. What the heck?
All right.
Gregory.
All right. This one's hard to predict because if Cesaro retains, I mean, what babyface tag teams are there really? Enzo and Cass just broke up. Slater and Rhino are really in no position to challenge.
That's a very
good point.
Unless you bring somebody else up, who do you got? So, that being said, I'm probably going to have to choose the Hardys to win the match.
2 for the Hardys.
3-2. Just because they always have to win by one fall.
Right.
But I'm going to say that they win and then go on to face the Revival at SummerSlam.
Ooh, interesting.
There you go. Good book.
I'm going with Cesaro. I think as the match gets closer to the 30 minutes, Cesaro is going to do his Hulk up and go fast and crazy, and the crowd's going to get into it. I don't know what the falls are going to be. 3-2 sounds pretty good. I really think that the Hardys, something's brewing with them because as a tag team, they're already boring and stale. It's like the Dudley Boys. To me, the nostalgia act is already getting old. So I don't know. We don't know what the broken gimmick holds, but I see I could see Jeff kind of maybe screwing up a little bit like he did in the cage match again to cost them the match late. I don't know, something weird, but I'm going and to me, to answer Greg's point, who could Cesaro face? Revival. Why can't the Revival get pushed as baby faces? All the internet marks love them. I mean, they've been pretty much gone for a while. What? Why not?
Or maybe turn to Anderson and Gallows.
Heaters, man.
What's that, Greg?
WWE, man.
You could also possibly
WWE booking sucks though, man.
Yeah.
Let's just face it. It sucks because why would you bring them out for commentary like the Hardys? Like that's why the nostalgia act is dying, is because of how they're booking them. And we've only seen them work with Cesaro. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
So, I mean, y'all make good points here.
Maybe Anderson and Gallows can turn face.
Maybe, and then maybe they can have a babyface club with Balor. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. There's an idea. Since Finn Balor's not on this show again, even though they've been setting up something with the Drifter, but they haven't announced anything for the paper.
They'll probably add something after this because they always do.
Yeah, I mean, they got a lot of
stealing
matches.
ideas from Japan again, just like Quentin Tarantino does. What? Yeah, we'll start a club here. We'll start a Bullet Club here now because it's so hot in Japan. It's just like Vince.
Too sweet.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on here. We have Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt. So I don't know about you guys, but I have like zero interest in this match. I mean, Bray Wyatt's doing nothing for me. I think Seth Rollins' promos haven't been good either, and I just don't care about this match at all. I have no emotional investment. I do not care one way or another who wins this match. To me, both guys are just they're just running on a treadmill. They're just going nowhere. And I really don't care who wins, but I'm going to go ahead and say Seth Rollins wins because Bray Wyatt is the eater of pinfalls, and Seth Rollins is on the video game. I think that's going to be WWE's logic for Rollins winning because they got to push him with the video game coming out soon. Greg, we'll start with you. Your thoughts?
Wyatt moving to Raw was such a terrible thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they completely wasted him. But I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of tired of Bray Wyatt. Like his whole
you said it.
I mean, the way they've booked him, it has just been abysmal. And then he keeps talking like nothing happens. It's like, well, nothing phases him. It's like, why does he keep trying? He keeps losing. He was WWE champion for a month, and then he wins his feud with Orton, but isn't the champ. I mean, he's not the worst booked person in WWE right now. Still Bailey, but
he's number 2.
He's pretty freaking close. Rollins wins this one, and hopefully it's just a one-off, because Rollins should have a better match at SummerSlam.
All right, Virtue?
Wyatt wins, and this continues till SummerSlam, and it's going to get something weird and crazy like the Orton and Wyatt thing, because they know none of you guys like it, and that's how it'll get booked.
Oh.
Wyatt wins. Sister Abigail.
Yeah, but, I don't even know how much invested interest they even have at Wyatt at this point, because, look, I'm sorry, WWE, and I'm sorry for fans of Bray Wyatt, but trying to make him the second coming of The Undertaker is just not happening. And I hate to go on the quick Jeff Meacham rant here, but I'll just say this. The Undertaker was born when in the kayfabe era. He was undefeated. He was okay. Then once kayfabe started going away, the business was exposed. What did he do? He changed himself. He reemerged himself several times throughout his career. That's what Bray Wyatt needs at this point. Team him up with Bo Dallas. With that being said,
turn him face.
That's what Bray Wyatt desperately needs. He needs to become a character babyface like The Undertaker did.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's hard to book this one. You kind of convinced me, Virtue, that this will carry over. But yeah, I'm not thrilled about this match. And again, I think Seth Rollins now is a B player ever since they screwed up his booking after his injury. So Bray Wyatt wins, but we'll see this match again, I think.
All right, well, we're split right down the middle on this one, Daddy. Next up, we have the women's title match. We have Alexa Bliss defending against Sasha Banks. Again, I really don't care too much about this match. And as far as who wins, I got to go with Alexa to retain. When I really don't care, I'm just going to go with the champion retaining. I have no interest in seeing Sasha win the title. Like I said before, I think WWE dropped the ball with Bayley and Sasha. I think that should have been the SummerSlam match, and they should have built that up a lot better. At this point, I'm guessing Nia Jax is probably going to face Alexa for the title at SummerSlam. Or maybe they'll do a fatal 4-way match or just throw all the women together. I'm not really sure. David, what do you think? Payne?
Yeah, well, you're going to get hate mail now. You're sexist. You don't like the women. All right? But let's just call a spade here. All right? They did a shitty job booking this. The promos have been awful. It sucks. It does that. It has nothing to do about gender. And look, I think 8 out of 10 matches on this card aren't really that, there's 8. So 6 out of 8 aren't even that great to watch, in my opinion. This being one of them, Alexa Bliss wins. Like that. Who's next? Virtue, you up to bat?
Sasha Banks, new champ, because they don't know. It's like they don't know who they want their women's champion to be.
Seems that way.
And I just think, and I know Sasha seemed like she was in some hot water, getting booked and losing all the time, but now all of a sudden the revolving door and she comes out of it. So I think she's going to win it, and I don't know what that means going forward, at a SummerSlam, but I'm picking Sasha to become the champ. Greg?
See, with these prediction shows, if you've watched enough of them, I never vote against Sasha Banks. And these are actually my 2 favorite women in the company right now, Sasha and Alexa. So really? I'm actually looking forward to this match. Like, forget the build-up. I think they'll have a good match against each other.
Yeah, most likely it'll be good. I just wish they had done a better job. So you're going with Sasha, and we're split again. Interesting. This is
3 matches. 3 matches were split.
Yeah, so nobody can complain this time that we're all agreeing on everything. We're definitely.
Greg usually gets most of everything right, so I guess if I have picks he has, I feel pretty good about it.
Oh, so that's your strategy to just go with whatever. That's why
if I pick before him, I don't know what he's going to say.
That is true, unless you guys conspired in the Facebook chat or something. All right, so we got 2 matches left. We got the 2 big ones here. We have the ambulance match, the Scott Steiner special. We have Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. The storyline has been that Roman Reigns has been unable to get the best of Braun Strowman, and even at the end of this week's Raw, you had Reigns spearing Strowman off the stage through a table, and Strowman got back up to his feet, and Roman was all shocked that Strowman still got up. Now, I think WWE's going with Lesnar versus Reigns at SummerSlam. I think they're changing their plans and they're going to do this match at SummerSlam instead of WrestleMania, which is what I think they should do. And based off of the end of Raw, I mean, they continue to sell the idea that Roman cannot beat Braun Strowman, which makes me think it is going to happen at the pay-per-view. Reigns will win, and he'll go on to challenge the champion at WrestleMania. So my pick is Roman Reigns. You know, Roman hasn't looked strong since WrestleMania, really. So it's about that time that Roman's got to look really strong, and he'll beat Braun Strowman in this match. Greg, we'll start with you. Your prediction.
Yeah, as much as I don't want to see it, I mean, Roman's going to end up better in the feud anyway. So I'm going to say Roman Reigns, even though I think Strowman should win because he's still a star on the rise.
Mm-hmm.
But my official prediction is Roman Reigns. Payne?
I'm going to have to agree with you guys here. I mean, they're protecting Roman Reigns. Frankly, I think trying to sell him, Strowman, that is, of being out for 6 months with this injury, I thought that was weak. He comes back. I just don't like the build to it at all. I think that a gimmick match like this even makes it more hokey. I'm sorry. It might be okay. I mean, we might see some cool things, some cool spots here and there. You know, we all know Roman's a good bumper, but you know, I agree. It's sort of bearing Braun Strowman, but it's inevitably you got to have the top guy protected, and that's Roman Reigns. Virtue, that's your boy.
I don't pick against Roman Reigns and Roman Reigns is winning.
I think we're doing Porky Pig imitations here.
Roman Reigns.
You guys, I thought we were succotash with Sylvester the Cat. Get it right, Cat Man.
It's an ambulance match, so like Reigns can win and Strowman can kind of still be protected because he's not going to get pinned or submit, right? He's just going to get thrown into the ambulance and driven away. So Reigns wins, and this match, to me, will probably be equally as good, potentially, as Lesnar-Joe. Now, you know, again, I don't really know what to expect out of Lesnar-Joe, but I know that these two guys are going to bump specifically Reigns. There's an ambulance involved. They're going to go down the aisle, over on the side, here and there. People are going to get thrown into the ambulance, and as cliche as Payne says that is, he's going to watch it, and then when you do the review, you're going to say, God darn, Roman Reigns is better than I keep giving him credit for.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear anything after you said this match would be equally as good as Samoa Joe Brock Lesnar.
Listen to me. I've been saying this for weeks. This is one of the hottest feuds because it actually started before Lesnar and Joe. This is one of the hottest feuds over the last 3 months. Why? It cooled down because Strowman got hurt, but Strowman got hurt because of Roman Reigns. So just, you know, you will never accept that Roman Reigns is the guy that WWE pushes. And you know what? I just told the world yesterday Kenny Omega is my favorite wrestler. Way opposite of Roman Reigns, okay? But the reason why I advocate Roman Reigns is because he makes money for WWE. It doesn't matter if he doesn't get cheered and he's supposed to. He makes them money.
He got some cheers on Raw. He got some cheers on Raw. It was like 50-50 on Raw this weekend. It was loud when he came out of that ambulance. It was pretty loud.
Reigns, but I'm not.
But just to put a cap on this, you know what I'll be doing? You keep saying, "Oh, I'll be watching." No, I'll be taking a dump probably. Okay.
That's no, you won't. You'll be watching.
I'll listen to it. Well, maybe I'll watch.
Yeah, you will watch. We're all watching it. We're all going to be watching it, and Roman's going to win. And I think Brock.
And I never said it was going to be better. I said Brock could be up there with it, equal. So don't say I'm saying it's already going to be better than Lesnar.
Yeah. It's going to be a really good match, maybe a great match, maybe 4 and 1/4 stars, something like that. Should be really good.
2.2.
Yeah, earlier we were talking like Elmer Fudd and then suffering Suffolk. I can't even say it.
I had to kind of put that in there because
that was Tweety and Sylvester that said that one though, wasn't it?
Usually people call Payne out on his high-pitched little laugh that he does sometimes, so I figured I'd make a botch this time. There you go. You're welcome.
My high-pitched laugh?
Oh. I did it today.
Botchamania. Cool.
Botchamania. All right, so now we got the main event. We got the Universal title, Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe. Arguably the best build-up for a WWE match in 2017. I mean, they've done a really solid job with this one. Should be a very entertaining match. I'm looking forward to it. If they do a UFC style fight, it should be really fun to watch. As much as I'd like to see Joe win here, I've said this for months that I think Joe should be the guy to beat Lesnar, but I don't see it happening now. I don't think now's the time. I think they're gonna go with Joe putting over Lesnar, and then Lesnar will go on to SummerSlam to face Roman Reigns. That's my prediction. We'll start with you, Virtue. Your prediction for this match.
Yeah, Lesnar retains, so we won't see the title again until SummerSlam. I think the intensity of this match should be like top notch. Like if you remember back to the Lesnar and Cena matches, where it got not the squash match, but because Lesnar brings that out. Like when he comes out and he starts doing suplexes, but I think Joe can retaliate and maybe put him in some chokeholds. Like Aaron said, if it follows kind of like a UFC style, I think it'll be off the hook. I expect it to be. The expectations are probably the highest on the show, even though I like Reigns and Strowman. But I can't pick against Brock here. I mean, even with my wanting Heyman to turn on Brock for something different, I just don't see it happening. So we'll go to, I always say Greg first. What about you, Payne?
Is it Greg or Payne? Which one?
Payne. What about you, Payne? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, I agree. Lesnar's going to retain here. For some reason, they just love being able to stretch that title out with Lesnar and only have him appear so many different times. But, you know, I mean, I agree. I said this several times in our previous videos. If this is like an MMA, UFC fight, maybe there's some blood. You get some stiff shots in here. I mean, they're both in, you know, fighting trunks. And for those of you trolls out here, it says, only one of them's got it. No, Samoa Joe did train in some MMA. He's never had any professional fights, but the guy knows how to fucking do it, man. And it's going to be a great match, dude. I'm actually excited for it. This is a Smart Marks dream right here. I only wish, personally, that this was on a bigger pay-per-view like SummerSlam. I would like to see or WrestleMania. But because SummerSlam's so close, I almost would like to see a dirty finish so that they can have a reason to have another, you know, big match on SummerSlam. But if it's only a one-off deal, I mean, Lesnar's got to win here. But, you know, I should ask everybody here, is it going to be clean or is it going to be, you know, a dirty finish?
Well, what do you think? Oh, well, let's start with Greg.
Yeah, Greg.
See, I'm going to be that guy.
No, I knew it.
Oh, boy.
And he's always right, so...
I actually am going to go with Samoa Joe.
Woo!
And here's the reason for it. Reigns can challenge for the title at SummerSlam. They probably still want to hold Reigns versus Lesnar till WrestleMania. Perhaps it won't be for the championship. So that's still a possibility. I mean, everybody would be dreading Lesnar versus Reigns if it was for the title at WrestleMania. If it's not for the title and it's just the two of them beating the crap out of each other, I'm all for it. I mean, I wouldn't be against them being for the championship because WrestleMania 31, before Rollins cashed in his Money in the Bank, they beat the crap out of each other, and it was fun to watch.
It was.
But you know what else I noticed, Greg? I think Lesnar loses an edge on that intensity when he's a babyface because, you know, and they made him talk, and that kind of like lost me a little bit tonight.
Well,
I think when Lesnar comes out as a heel, he's so intense because he wants to destroy, and when he's a babyface,
what was weird about that segment on Raw this week was that Joe was kind of acting like a babyface, you know, wanting to fight, and then left the interview area and went after Lesnar. So it's really weird.
Yeah.
It was a great promo though by Joe. I thought it was his best one yet in WWE.
Oh yeah, definitely. He was great.
I mean, you never know like what Lesnar is. Like 1 week he's a babyface, 1 week is a heel. I mean, he's just Brock Lesnar. You can't really classify him as something.
That's true.
Everybody knows what Brock does. He comes in, he beats the crap out of people, he leaves. I mean, that's his shtick.
Yeah.
But I guess you can't really classify him as one or the other. But I'm going to go with Joe, just so we're not all agreeing, and just because there could be like some Russo swerves happening on this show.
Russo, plug.
Yes.
And I say clean, by the way. I picked Lesnar, and I say clean.
Yeah, I say Lesnar wins clean too, and Joe will have a good showing, but Brock will pick up the win. All right, guys, so that'll wrap it up for our predictions for WWE Balls. # WWE Balls. Hopefully Mr. Payne never does that again, what he did at the beginning of the video. But let's go ahead and get the plugs out, and any final thoughts. If you guys had any other thoughts about the pay-per-view, add that as well in addition to the plugs. We'll start with you, Greg.
All right. At PA Sensation, both Twitter and Instagram. I know I didn't get a TSE up this week. I'm going to try and get one up this coming week, and hopefully get that up. Send me in questions. Send me in like ideas for what you want me to talk about. Doesn't even have to be like a straight question, but that's it for me.
All right, Payne.
I don't need to plug nothing. You know how to get a hold of me. I'll do a pop tomorrow
plug,
with
maybe.
you guys. So, wow, look at look at Riff doing the dirty jokes. So no, I'll do a pop tomorrow. So you guys will hear what I have to say then. Virtue.
Follow me on Twitter at @NoDQ_Virtue. And there's a new column up about wrestling managers, and we need more of them today.
I
Yes.
agree. I totally agree. All right, guys. So, of course, NoDQ.com. And if you could see right here, Pro Wrestling Tees, where you can grab a NoDQ.com shirt over there at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search NoDQ or check out the link in the description box. And, of course, stay tuned for all the very latest news and rumors as they become available. And we will be back, the panel, some combination of the panel, we will be back after the pay-per-view to give our thoughts on WWE Balls. Will it be awesome or will it suck balls? That remains to be seen. We'll see you guys next time.